Ikoria has been revealed. We just watched over on Twitch. Becca Scott and Josh Lee Kwai walk us through the set. We've got a lot of stuff to react to.
Yeah, there's some crazy stuff that happened, all of that and more. The video starts right now.
Special thanks to our Patreon supporters who power our channel. Check out our Patreon for monthly giveaways, exclusive content, and even a starring role in our fan fight series. Link in the description below.
Hello and welcome to the day.
Thank you for spending your time with us.
I'm Jake.
I'm Joel. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic. We've got Ikoria set revealed to talk about today. But first, please go down there and hit that like button and that subscribe button if you like the video by the end of it. It lets us know you're there.
It's the best way to support the channel. If you're ready to find out what Mutate is, you are in the right place. Let's go ahead and get into this. So really quick before we get into this, shout out to our patron Nikki, who is always on the spot with getting us information right as it comes out. She linked these articles when they'd been out for like 10 minutes. So we're able to bring you this information really quick. Let's talk about this. This is the Planeswalkers guide. This is just kind of going to be some basic information to Ikoria, stuff that was spoiled today, and things that you need to know.
So, in general, we have seen this picture here, and that's all we had for Ikoria. But now we've got more. All these pictures here. So, essentially, we've got a plane where it is dominated by monsters, and these monsters have some genetics where they can mesh with other monsters to form bigger monsters. That is represented by the mechanic Mutate. We also have the humans of Ikoria, and they are just trying to survive. When we saw pictures on the stream, it kind of looked like a rough Ravnica to me, like a more, tribalistic kind of Ravnica plane where the humans are just trying to defend themselves from the monsters. We also have
reminds me of, I don't know if you remember that game Primal Rage, which was there. So there's Primal Rage, and then what was the movie with The Rock? Rampage.
That's based on the old game Rampage.
Yeah, both similar, but Primal Rage was just like you had these mutated like giant gorillas and like lizards and dinosaurs, and the people on the ground are just fodder. They're getting eaten so that your monster can survive. It's just like a fighting game.
Right.
But anyway, that's what it kind of reminds me of.
Yeah, absolutely. We also have this lore piece called Bonders, where a human and a monster can create a bond, and that's represented by the mechanic Companion, which is just a whole lot to dive into. We
kind of
also
like Avatar kind of thing going on there.
Yeah, exactly. It's also kind of like a Golden Compass. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I thought of at first was Golden Compass. We also have confirmed now we have triomes. Each triome is its own unique terrain. I remember talking about maybe we were going to get triomes or triads of colors back, and so that is definitely where we're going with that. We haven't yet, at time of filming this video, seen exactly what the rare land cycle is going to look like in this set, but
there is some speculation.
And look out for another video about that later today or tomorrow. They go over the triomes very quickly. We've got Savai is grassy plains, so plains, atop mountainous cliff faces, mountainous, and swampy subterranean tunnels. Jake, what would you say are the three land types that are going to be in Savai?
I would say, maybe like a Jund, kind of.
I'm definitely thinking plain, mountain, swamp.
Yeah.
Black, red, white there. I don't know that that's
Jund.
Oh,
not Jund, Naya.
Because that would be forest, but Naya.
Oh, God,
and it's not Naya either.
They said
it's got
grassy
swamps.
plain.
Grassy plains,
I thought
mountain,
grass.
Swamp. It is Abzan, Jake. Swamp, mountain, plain. It's not Abzan either.
We need to just cut all this.
We need to cut all this because we don't know what the triads are. On this plane, apparently, also, we have cats. I'm not cutting it. We're just going to keep pushing forward.
I like cats.
We've got cats, apparently. Look at this cat with tusks. I'm glad that house cats don't have tusks. We also have cat dragons. Many Ikorian cats also have wings.
Can I be upset that house cats don't have tusks?
You can be upset about it. I'm happy about it. I don't want it. Look at this. Snapdax the All-Hunter. Savai is home to the cavern lair of the apex monster Snapdax, a ferocious hunter that collects trophies. Look at that Seb McKinnon art right there. That's pretty sick.
Pretty sweet.
And then on the plane itself, this is the Ravnican type city I was talking about. Draneth, the Invincible City. This is where in Savai, I guess, they survive. I really love that art. That looks great. Zoltan Boros, shout out. Ketria is river-fed, so island. Temperate forest, so island forest. Waterfalls plunge from rocky trees into inland lakes and river systems. Nowhere are crystals more seamlessly integrated with the landscape. Rivers and waterfalls that wind through forests and cascade down mountains.
Teamer.
So we've got blue, green, red. You were ready with the teamer on that one. You were like, we're not going to have a Savai repeat. We've got we've got elementals. We've got an aspect there with the landscape. Yep.
Yeah,
I'm just
really
shooting
nice.
through the 5 triomes real fast.
Sure, of course.
We've got Indatha. Look at this. Indatha is swamps with lowland plains dotted with uniquely shaped trees. Here's your Abzan. We've got swamps, plains, forests. Okay? We got nightmares here. We've got Nathroi, the Death Dweller. That's where that one lives. Then we've got Raugrin. We've got volcanic mountains along beaches, along the surrounding white sand beaches along the coastline. So I'm thinking this is Jeskai. We've got dinosaurs. Vadrock, the Thunder Raptor. That's pretty insane. Then we've got Zagoth. Okay? Teeming rainforests with vast lily pools and swampy wetlands. Sultai. Jake is on it now.
So
I caught
just
him off
you
guard
guys
with
know,
the first one.
this is... Now, are they doing all shards?
It looks to me like that is the bottom.
Okay,
Good luck
all right,
out
so
there. So it's those 5.
The basic of those is these are shards. This is adding into the pool of cards that debuted in Khans of Tarkir. So just so if you're familiar with Khans, it's going to be those same shards where we first got names of all of those.
Initial takeaways
for
me.
Abzan.
Initial takeaways from me are more tribe support. We've got nightmares. I think that's going to have commander implications for tribal. We've got dinosaurs, which is more commander. We've got cat. We've definitely got tribes. We've got beasts. We talked about beasts in our guest video, in our predictions video about Ikoria. We've got, what was the other one up here? Oh, elementals. So elementals I actually think might have standard implications because you've still got Omnath and cards like that care about elemental creature type in standard. And then up here we've got cats. We'll see if cats become a thing, but that's mostly a meme tribe for commander. Let's jump over into the mechanics, Jake. First off, we've got cycling returning to Magic the Gathering.
So cycling, gonna give you a little hint, a little teaser of what we think and what we're speculating the land cycle to be. It will be related to cycling, but it is cool that we have cycling back. We also have these keyword counters. If you don't know what cycling is, it's just where you pay a cost and it allows you to replace a card by drawing a card. Keyword counters, these are interesting.
Yeah, this is new. So they're going to put the keywords for creatures onto counters and have spells going forward that can give abilities to a creature permanently marked by a counter. Fully Grown is their example here. You've got a Wild Growth with put a trample counter on it attached, and then we see what the counters here look like. +1/+1, reach, lifelink, hexproof, death touch. I mean, it runs the whole gamut here.
Yeah, so this is really interesting, and what this means for certain cards moving forward is that there are cards that, otherwise wouldn't have hexproof that now you may be able to play them, give them hexproof, and it's going to give them, and I'm talking about eternal formats like Modern, Pioneer, Legacy, cards that maybe you wouldn't play because you're too afraid that the card is just going to get removed, but now all of a sudden you're giving it hexproof forever. I mean, that's a pretty big deal to me.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I'm interested to see what kind of cards come out of this, because, you know, the thought, and I always come back to this card because I always think about this card, but SRAM, the reason that SRAM sucks so bad in certain decks is because it's so easy to remove. If you're able to play it and then also have, you know, like hypothetically a spell that says give target creature +1/+1 until end of turn and put a hexproof counter on it. Now all of a sudden you've played SRAM, you've given it hexproof, and now you're ready to profit. So just something to think about moving forward is how are these counters, these ability counters, going to affect eternal cards? That's pretty crazy to me.
The hexproof symbol to me looks like an arc reactor. It looks like Iron Man's chest piece there. I'm not sure why they made it look so similar to that. Next up, we've got Mutate as the ability, and this is the one that we had seen in different leaks and we had speculated about, but now we know what it is. Essentially, you can cast the creature with Mutate for its Mutate cost. It has to have a target when you're casting it for this. It has to be a non-human target, which is pretty huge, and we'll talk about that for more legacy formats, why that's huge. And the creature becomes part of instantly the creature that existed. So if the creature existed on the battlefield, had auras or equipment or things like that attached to it, it stays attached to it. The Mutate creature can go on top or below, and all that matters about on top and below is the power toughness. So in general, you probably want to go for the higher power toughness on top, because the top creature represents the power toughness. But going down the creature, reading down this newly formed thing that you'll have, it has all the abilities as one creature. Jake, that's kind of the summation of Mutate that I've got so far.
No, and I think that that's right. The only big thing that you need to know about Mutate is you can never mutate onto a human creature. The idea with the lore of this is that the humans are too squishy, they're too frail to take on this
Their
drastic
genetics
mutation.
can't handle it.
Their genetics can't handle it. And so we're going to see a lot of interesting things. My first thought when I heard about Mutate was Invisible Stalker, but Invisible Stalker is a human rogue, so obviously that's not going to work, as that would be completely busted. Now you have a hexproof unblockable. Invisible Stalker would have been the first thing that a lot of people go to and think about as far as just like, oh, how can I break this super quick?
Right.
But you know, this is really interesting.
I think it's notable that the Resolving Mutating Creature spell doesn't ETB. It just makes the creature on the battlefield change its characteristics. And like I said, auras and equipment attached to it, it still does. You just cast it and it becomes it stays the same creature but with new abilities. Sometimes whenever they've got abilities on the Ikoria cards, whenever this creature mutates, target creature and opponent controls get -2/-2 until end of turn. That's pretty interesting. So this is a creature that doesn't have mutate but can be mutated onto, and it has an ability that resolves by that.
So just think about that card. If you mutate it, and you need to know this as well, you can mutate and mutate and mutate. Is that correct? You can go on and on and on.
Yes,
you
can
mutate
do it
more than once.
You can do it.
So if you're
times.
mutating onto that snake, are you mutating onto the creature on top of it, or are you mutating onto the snake again? If the snake is on the bottom of the pile, and I mutate onto it,
yes,
and
all
then I
triggered
mutate onto
abilities
it
the
again.
resulting creature has that trigger condition will trigger.
Okay.
Is that what you were asking?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the ability is on the existing creature before it mutated or on the new piece, the Resolving Mutating Creature spell. They all trigger.
And you stack them how you want to. And then some creatures, Bristling Boar, can't be blocked because it refers to itself by name. It says that if Cloudpiercer ends up on top of Bristling Boar, the ability will work on the resulting creature. What it really just means is me. It doesn't happen. It doesn't matter exactly that it says Bristling Boar can't be blocked. Now this new thing will still be a Bristling Boar. It's just a Bristling Boar with a Cloudpiercer on top.
Gotcha.
In the example of Cloud Piercer right here. So that's Mutate. Mutate has a lot of implications, and over the next week or so, we're really going to dive into Mutate and try and pick it apart and break it and see what we can do with it. The other big thing that's new is this companion. There are 10 companions in Ikoria, and they're legendary creatures with this ability, companion, and it's got a deck building challenge here. Your starting deck contains only cards with converted mana cost 3 or greater. This is another one that's going to take us a couple of days to really dive into, pull apart, break apart, and try and figure out exactly what it is and how to break it. But in standard, the way I've seen it talked about is that this card, Karuga the Macro Sage, would be in your sideboard if you want to take advantage of the companion thing. As long as your starting deck has CMC 3 or greater and land cards in it, Karuga can be in your sideboard, okay? And you can cast Karuga from your sideboard once in your game. So it's a one-time use command zone, essentially, for standard. Now, in Commander, this represents a 101st card. You have your Commander, you have your other 99, but you can have your companion be a completely outside thing that can be cast once. Again, from like a special, I guess, command zone. We'll figure out exactly what that means. And there's already a card. Okay, so this is Lutri the Spell Chaser. This is one of the 10 companions in Ikoria. And this card has already been banned in Commander by the Rules Committee. They are out ahead of this. It is a 101st card, essentially, to your EDH deck having a companion. And they thought that when Lutri the Spell Chaser enters the battlefield, if you cast it, copy target instant or sorcery spell you control, you may choose new targets for the copy. Essentially, that's saying, I want to have a fork in my sideboard that can be cast whenever I want it, and it's always in my hand, essentially, for that one time in the game I want to use it. Yeah, exactly. You're shaking your head. The Rules Committee agrees with you. They've already banned it, okay?
Yeah.
But other than that, this is a crazy new mechanic that I absolutely didn't expect, and it's got a lot of implications that will come to the light over the next week as we start to dig into this set and really figure out what it means.
Yeah, very interesting stuff. Very excited to see how this set affects things moving forward. I definitely have a lot of cards to think about. If you're interested in Ikoria information, make sure that you're subscribed because we're going to be covering a lot of it moving forward.
Oh yeah, we have a lot to talk about with Ikoria. Make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like that. It lets us know you're watching. We have so many videos coming out over the next week or two, it's kind of insane.
And until next time, I'm tapped out.
We will catch you later.